Hi guys, welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Big smile on my face because I am learning the art of patience, even today. Something wrong with the server today, guys, on Matt Bajerski new website coming out soon by the guys who are working. It was meant to be put up today. Still your mind. There's no big deal. We've waited a year. Come here. I need you today. Come here. Oh. Okay, I'll shut up. I'll talk about something else, shall we? Okay, how you doing, guys? Lovely day today. It's a beautiful day. We've got our health, we're feeling good. The most important thing, what's important, is not issues, is not problems, is not challenges. It's, I feel my body is healthy, it's repairing every day, I'm looking after myself, I'm taking care of myself, and the little silly things that would have once really bothered me don't seem to bother me as much now. So my reaction is very quick and then it's gone. And it's almost like, oh my God, stop. And it's almost like there is this, in the back of your head, it's always there. It's ready to try and pull you back into that world. It's a very clever little demon. I call him my little demon, he's in there. He's a little Irish man that goes, come on, start a fight, come on, beat them up, come on, rip them apart. And then in my heart says, no, it's all as it should be. Everything is beautiful and there is always a reason why. You've often hear me share stories about the synchronicities of life and what we believed was against us and was wrong. And I don't know, a few of you probably don't know this story, which is the story that touched my heart. Was about an English lady who was living in, at the time, India. And she was in a remote village that she needed to get to, I think, Delhi. And it takes round about 1 hour from where she lived by bus. So she was in the queue like everybody else waiting for the bus, and the bus turned up and everybody got onto that bus, and just as she was stepping onto that bus, the bus conductor said, no, you are not allowed on this bus. And she said, sorry, you cannot come on this bus. And she said, but why not? There's room in the bus. No, this is as much as we can take in the bus. And she was confused, emotionally upset, and a little bit angry too. But she held herself back, she stepped off the bus, and the bus went. And obviously she had to wait 1 more hour, and the next bus came. Very easily gets onto the bus, sits down, and within 1 hour she gets to Delhi, obviously 1 hour late. She gets off the bus and looks in the bus station. There's a big commotion with lots of ambulances and police cars and people screaming. She then proceeds to walk over to the bus that she realised was the bus that she was meant to get on. And she asked somebody what was happening. And apparently somebody had got onto that bus halfway there and killed every white person on that bus. If you think about that story, how many of you would have pushed to get on that bus? Think about it. How many of you would have been screaming and shouting saying, I'm getting on that bus? These are just a few of the stories that makes me always think about any time there is a problem or an issue, what we perceive to be a problem or an issue, or bad luck, or things going wrong, when in truth, if you look at the bigger picture, there is a highly likely probability that spirit is guiding you in a different direction gently. So whenever I see something as an issue, I have to stop myself and recounter all the times, like this one particular story, and I have thousands more, of where spirit intervened and we believed that that was bad luck, or we shouldn't have, that shouldn't have happened to me. I should have got this. This should have happened to me. I should have won this. I should have had this house. I should have had that. I should have had that job. And, I often say these things are there to guide and help us and create a bond between our spirit world, if you believe that, or a universal energy that gently leads us to the right place. Therefore, nothing is a problem, nothing is an issue, nothing goes wrong, everything is exactly as it should be. And where you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be. But more importantly, wherever you're guided is exactly where you're meant to be going. And I use this in my daily practice to always stop myself from the little demon inside telling me that I should kick off and get upset and get angry and start having a go just to get what I want and prove my point. And take that aside. When you are able to conquer that and move that aside and not let things affect you, you start to find yourself in a new world, in a new life, in a new energy, we call it. And that energy is called flow. It means that everything is as I'm going, where I'm heading, whatever's happening, it's a flow. And I'm guided. And even when, there's a brick wall. No, it's not a brick wall. It's just telling me, Spirit's gently guiding me around that wall into another journey, another path. And when you do that, you live in constant joy. You live in, you kind of have this excitement, like today, like, oh, Mark, the website's not going to launch today because there's a problem. Okay, then there's a reason for that. And maybe, just maybe, that reason, this is how I try and see it now. Why is this happening and what could be the reason? And we never really truly know, but could it be that tomorrow a certain person is going to see that website and it's going to help them along their journey because they're going to, click on it and it's going to say download free a certain part of my teachings that they'll see and read, and it might heal them from maybe taking their life or hurting somebody or causing issue. So there is a bigger picture. There is a world beyond this world who is working very cleverly to know when. You see, this website was already in the making 20 years ago. You're thinking and I'm thinking, oh no, this was a year ago. And they're saying, no, this was already in the making. We brought certain people to you to make this happen, and certain people were going to come and go. And it's an intricate web that we think is, it's impossible to even believe it. It's impossible to even imagine what goes on beyond this world that is influencing and helping us and guiding us in a loving way. But that's my core belief now. It's my understanding. And many of you will say that's rubbish. It's just coincidence. It just happens like that. And these are mistakes and these are issues that we've got to fight against. And without pushing and forcing, you'll never get what you want. So we all have I did that for 38 years. And I can tell you this now, that pushing and forcing and wanting and getting upset only caused me physical issue. So now I don't have physical or emotional issue. And if I do, it's gone. It's instant. It's like, I get upset and then it's gone because I realize that that's not my path. That's not my journey. So it's really interesting, right? So I've gone off on one. So today we're going to talk about a certain crystal that is a very beautiful crystal to help you for all of those things that I've just talked about, for learning to understand and trust that there is a higher force, a magic around us that is working with us. And this crystal helps us to attune to that very energy, which means we leave the mind and we go more into our intuitive energy, the psyche, the real you. And it's hard sometimes to get there, so wearing a certain crystal can help you on that journey. This crystal can also bring a lot of peace and calm and help you flow in that direction that you trust. So this crystal is all around my neck now, and I'm going to show it you. look. And it's a very beautiful crystal and becoming quite rare to find. And there's a lot of copies, so be very careful. It should be a very deep, deep colour of blue, almost turquoise. Can you see? It's such a beautiful crystal. And this crystal is called Sleeping Beauty. And it's from the turquoise family, but it's a very special crystal from a very special place. So I love working with Sleeping Beauty because it really generates an energy of inner peace. It really works towards helping me attune to the right energy of happiness, balance and flow. So many people will fight against the current of a river. They will push and they will push. But this crystal almost says, you know, stop, turn around, lie down and let the current take you to where you're going. And you can only do that when you trust. You can only do that when you believe that there is a higher force at work. There is your spirit family. There is your family and animals and all of those people in the spirit world that love you are there to guide and gently take you to. This crystal is also wonderful if you have children who are highly sensitive and maybe cause a little bit of pain in your life because they're going through a lot of issues and they cry a lot, or they may have autism and things like that. This is good for you for that because it brings the balance of trust and allowing whatever happens to happen in and amongst your family. If you're in an abusive relationship, this is a great crystal to have because it also brings a lot of peace to whoever is around you. So just say, when I say abusive, what I mean by psychological, not particularly physical, because that nobody should put up with that. What I'm saying is that emotional attacks are equally as bad. So if you're wearing this, it creates an energy to actually help heal the people who are in a state of anger, fear, worry, and depressive thoughts and confusion. So it's a win-win situation. It blasts out an amazing energy. I've worked with this for, I think, 2 years. I worked with this back when I first started. I kind of started working with it more, roughly on my third year when I opened my doors to anybody who had cancer. And this crystal is amazing for anybody who, if you have somebody in your family who is suffering with cancer, you know how challenging it is to see them go through the suffering. Wearing one of these really works. And because I worked freely for 3 years for people coming and me helping them go into hospital and them coming to me, if they couldn't come to me, I'd drive an hour, 2 hours away, and I'd spend my time helping them through the process of whether they had to go home or whether they still stayed. And for me, cure means it means nothing, because cure is just a joke. We come and we go. What is cure? I mean, if you look at, I think, the statistics and the analogy of cure by modern day pharmaceutical and the chemotherapy, they say 5 years. So if you started your chemotherapy in 5 years and you died in 5 years and 1 day, then you were cured. So it's a joke. It's irrelevant. For me, this is about working and helping people who are suffering and worried and being there for them. So if you are somebody who works alongside people who are, if just say you work in a hospital or a care centre or anywhere where there is suffering and sadness and pain of the emotional level, then this is a beautiful crystal to wear. And what I often did with this crystal, the Sleeping Beauty, is I bought normally maybe 15 or 20 at a time. And after I'd finished working with them on my clients, I would often work with it and hold it for a while, for many days, weeks. And then when I knew the right client who had cancer would come in, I would then put this on them. And there is something about Sleeping Beauty as well, which is absolutely bizarre, and probably to you, you'd think, now you're going a little bit far, Mark. I believed you up to this point. Well, there's been many occasions, 3 or 4 at least, that one of these was placed onto a client of mine and shattered, just shattered, in front of other people who were in the audience at the time, and circles that I'd done, and they shattered because there was something in their body which was a disease, and for some reason this, I don't know whether it's an absorber of it or whether it's just done its job, but this crystal has done nothing but amaze me. So a Sleeping Beauty, genuine Sleeping Beauty, you have to be careful. China is producing Sleeping Beauty like there is no tomorrow. And you know, the only way, it's a challenge to spot a genuine Sleeping Beauty these days, because the Chinese are making, you know, such great copies, amazing copies, which is really sad, guys. You know, I said I wouldn't ever say where they came from, but it's true. I'm sorry, guys, but you have to be really careful. Buy wisely and buy carefully, okay? I've bought quite a few which have been fake as well, and I thought, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel genuine. And what I do is I break it with a hammer, crack it open, and you can see when it's genuine or whether it's just a fake. So that's it really. Sleeping Beauty is a beautiful crystal. I believe, I've been told by a dear friend of mine who goes to where Sleeping Beauty is, who brings me Sleeping Beauty, has said that it's becoming more difficult to get it now, so it's less and less and less. You do your own research and make sure you buy a genuine piece, guys. But there you go. In fact, you know what? Today I'm going to give this away to somebody. So love you all. Have a great day, guys. I hope this meant something to you today and the conversation that we had. I feel happy. I feel blessed to be here. I feel healthy. I feel joyful. I'm just about to eat some fresh vegetables, which I've just lightly put a little bit of oil on and salt and pepper and put them in the oven. And now I'm just going to go and have something to eat and then crack on with the crystals I've got over there. I've nearly finished with these beauties. Another 3 hours and then they'll be almost ready, which are the room crystals that I work with. So you put them in the four corners of your room to bring good energy. So they're nearly done too. And a few beauties over here. Let me just show you. I fell in love with this crystal. It's a fluoride from England, and it's from the Diana Maria cave, and it's just divine, and it changes colour because of the I don't know the composition of it, but from inside to outside it changes colour from a vibrant green to a purple. It's divine. So I fell in love with it, and we've had these made from it. Look, we've had them cut. Aren't they divine? I'll talk about them another day because these are extra special. Still working on them, and but they're pretty expensive, so I'm just going to leave that for now and still continue to work on these. But yeah, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that beautiful? It's just divine. Okay, as you can see, I'm well excited about everything. Okay, take care, guys. Have a lovely, lovely day, whatever you're doing. Just put a comment down underneath, whatever you want, and I'll scan through and choose somebody to gift that beautiful crystal, which is around my neck, called Sleeping Beauty. I hope you got something from Sleeping Beauty. I hope I shared enough information. I can talk about one crystal for probably one afternoon, so it's challenging for me to talk about a crystal for 10 or 15 minutes. I want to talk all the time, but to try and condense it down to at least 20 minutes is what I'm trying to do from now on. Okay, have a great day, guys, and see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.